Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode. Thanks for tuning back in. Today's episode is a special one, and it's one that I kind of hope I never get to make again. So a little background on what we're going to be doing today. So a little over a year ago, at the Pro Circuit Championship up in Sturgeon Bay, I had an accident. I was in my boat moving from one spot to another quickly on the trolling motor, and I hit a submerged object, making me, fly forward in the boat. And when I went to brace myself, I ended up kicking the Lowrance Ghost foot pedal. And as a lot of you know, I prefer to fish barefoot in the summer. And when I did that, I feel like I broke my big toe. I never went and had x-rays done, but I really hurt it bad. And I ended up having a nail that turned completely black and blue. And fast forward roughly a year later, the nail came off. So I guess I should have warned you. This could be kind of gross. But here's the nail, guys. I'm going to show it to you. So I'm going to show it to you. I'm warning you right now. I'm going to show you a nail. If you don't like it, turn it off. Some people are into this thing. I'm not really into it, but I feel like it took me a while to grow this nail, so I want to put it to use. So here's the nail. You can see it's still got some blood left in it. It's got some paint on it from when I painted a chicken coop last summer, red. Yeah, it's pretty gross, not gonna lie. And I want to utilize this to catch a fish. So I thought about doing several different things. I originally thought I was going to make a chatterbait blade out of it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that now. I'm worried that if I utilize this as a chatterbait blade, that it wouldn't hold up well and that the swivel would pull out. So the next best option is to make a crankbait lip out of this. And as far as I know, you can't buy any toenail crankbait lips. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I've never heard about it. I don't think I'd want to buy it. But I want to see the action I can get out of my toenail. So we're going to give it a whirl. I do kind of wish, while the nail was getting grown out, I was trimming the nail back. So I don't have as much nail as I would have liked in hindsight. But at the same time, I wouldn't have wanted to walk around with a full nail being pushed out by another nail, because then I feel like that would just look really odd and even grosser than it already was. So this is what we're working with, about 3/4 of an inch. So what I have thought about doing is using this, again, it's not a huge nail, but I'm going to see if I can make a wake bait out of it. I've got here, this is a body by Rod Provost at RP Custom Baits. And this is just kind of his little, it's like a old Bagley style bait. So I'm going to take my nail and put it in the slot that's already there and see what I need to do with it. I mean, it really fits pretty decent. It's a little misshaped, so I don't think it's going to run right. So we're going to have to trim it down. The other concern I have here is the natural curve of the nail. Well, there is a natural curve of the nail, and that's not good. Unless I turn it upside down, and then it'll have kind of that scatter wrap look, where you've got the nail, the cup, like a scatter wrap. I'm just not sure that that's going to get me the motion I need. So I think what I want to do, and I've thought about this a little bit, I think I need to take this, I think I'm going to put it in my vise and see if I can flatten it out to get rid of that curve and to give me the most usable space that I can. So we're going to head out to the garage where I got my vise. All right, guys, so we're in the garage here. I've got the old vise. We're going to put the nail there. I get a lot of people ask me about the garage. What's in the garage? Well, the Battle Beast is in the garage. What else do we got in the garage? The lawnmower, the wagon, the little battle beast. We got lots of stuff in the garage. We got our nail. Let's put her in the vise. Let's see if that did anything. Not so much. We're gonna leave it in there for a while. We're gonna give it some time. All right, so we're back in the garage. I've let it go for 24 hours. Hey, Duke, be careful on there. Do you need help? You got some boards to make some shelves and stuff with there. Anyways, I let the nail stay in the vise for 24 hours or roughly 24 hours. I just want to make sure it's flat. I really have no idea how this is going to turn out. But we only have one shot at this, so I want to make it work. So let's see what we got. It's stuck.
Oh, yeah.
I would say it's flat. That worked really well. All right, guys, so we're back here in the bait shop. I've got the flattened nail. So this was the bait that I wanted to put it in, and I just don't think that nail is gonna give me enough action. It's not big enough. So what I think I'm gonna do now is I've always kept a bunch of, like, every time I break the lip off a bait like that, I just keep the bait. I don't know why, but I've done that for years. So I went through some and I found this is a little Bomber Square A. It's like 1 3/4 inches where the lip broke off almost back in it, but I think I can cut that out. So it was the only bait that I've broken that I had another one of. So I have another one here with the, you know, the correct bill in it. So I took that bill and then I did some dimensions of it. I'm gonna cut that out and use that as a template. And according to that bill and my nail, I mean, it looks like we should be able to get that out. As you can see, it covers the bill. So it's gonna be a little harder because the RP that I wanted to use already had a lip slot cut in it. You know, it was all good to go. In this case, I think I'm gonna take a small hacksaw and just try to clean that out to get enough room to put the toenail in. Because the last thing I want to do is put the toenail in a bait that's too big for the nail / lip and then not get any action. So I'm going to see if I can cut that out, see if we can cut the nail down, get it to fit in there. It might be working. Okay, so I took my template, took the nail, and I cut a dang good bill that matches really, really well. Like, I mean, it's like spot on in terms of the little square bill, and I mean, the nail's so dried out, it worked perfect and it cut perfect. I mean, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but we've got the little, you know, the square bill corner going on there. And then I took that small hacksaw and cut into the blade that was there cleaned it out, and you know, it's definitely the bill that was in the bait originally is bigger, but this bait, or this cut that I made, it sits in there really good. It's a little crooked right there, but I'm gonna use the old, I mean, I don't know how durable this is gonna be. I'm sure if I'm beating it on rocks, it's gonna crack right away. And as soon as the nail gets wet, it'll probably get soft. But the goal is to catch one fish with my toenail. So I'm gonna do the old baking soda and super glue trick that I learned from my favorite YouTube channel, or one of my favorites, Marlin Fishing. If you haven't watched his stuff, check it out, because he makes all kinds of cool baits. And I'm just gonna put super glue in that lip slot, sprinkle on a bunch of baking soda, and that will hopefully really lock this lip into place. And we'll see if we can get a working bait out of it. I'm kind of really hopeful at this point, so let's see what we can do. We've got it, guys. This really turned out well. I don't know that it's gonna run, but we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna head out on the water and see if we can catch a fish with my toenail. I just put the boat in. Haven't got to the first spot yet, but I did just tie on the bait with the toenail. So we're gonna see what happens. I have not actually put it in the water yet. I just am really hoping that we get some movement out of it. Let me turn the camera around and see what happens. We'll do this together. All right, let's see. Oh, we've got good wiggle. Good wiggle. Oh, it dives good, it wiggles good. I mean, it's running like a normal it's running like a normal crankbait. Oh boy. All right, let's go fish. On the toenail. All right. Dude, and it is, I mean, I've been using it for a half hour, beating it up on wood and stumps, and it has not, like, not even shown a sign of wear and tear. I think we're onto something. On the old toenail. Oh. All right, guys, that was it. We had a little over an hour to fish. I got to run, go pick up Hank at school right now, but I feel like this was a success. I mean, this guy is still in great shape. If you look at that bill, it's not worn down. I mean, nothing really is wrong with it. And I beat it up in logs, rocks, sand, gravel. I mean, it held up just like a circuit board lip. It did run slightly to the right, and that's either because there's a slight curve in it, or it's just because the one side may be a little bit off. It looks like there's a little bit of a point on the one side, but I think I could potentially fix that. In either case, I was really impressed. My fear was that this wouldn't work, or I'd go out there and the lip would fall apart right away, or it would get soft and not work, but it really held up. I mean, it feels like a circuit board lip. Like, I think if I showed this to somebody and said it's a circuit board lip, they wouldn't know the difference, except for the dried blood that's still on the bottom of it, or the paint from when I painted the chicken coop red. In either case, I really feel like it was a success, to the point where this bait could potentially go in my boat for tournaments. Like, I don't know. I feel like I should retire it and put it right up on the Wall of Fame board. But I also feel like it was working pretty good. I mean, we caught two, decent mid-range 14-inch class smallmouth. The one I lost was probably a 2.5, 3-pound class fish. And we were only out there for a little bit. So we really did not fish with it that much, but it worked pretty good. So I don't know if we learned anything from this, other than if you happen to be out in the woods in a survivalist type moment and you have one crankbait and you break the bill to it, you can use your big toenail as your crankbait lip. So we learned that. Other than that, I guess we just put together a decent fun video that was not a complete failure. It wasn't a failure by any means, and I really enjoyed doing this. I thought there'd be about I'm going to say a 20% chance that we would actually get this thing to work. But it literally works as good as the lip that was in it, in my opinion. I mean, there was, throughout the day, I forgot I was even throwing something that was not like a stock manufactured bait. I mean, that's how good it runs. That's how good it was holding up to the beating that I put it through. And, yeah, I don't know if this is going on the Wall of Fame or if it's going in the boat yet, but it definitely caught fish. And I'm sure I would have caught more had I been able to stay out a little longer. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, hit that like button, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. You never know what you're going to get on this channel. Normally tips and tricks. Sometimes you get toenail fishing baits. It's pretty gross, but pretty cool at the same time, I think. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for a new one tomorrow.